whistleblower Tulsi Gabbard named on TSA Quiet Skies watch list. Let me read this, and then, Vinny, I'm coming to you. So, former Congresswoman Tulsi has reportedly been named on the Transportation Security Administration Quiet Skies watch list. Whistleblowers within the Federal Air Marshal Service are claiming subjecting her to the same surveillance used against suspected terrorists. Gabbard, a lieutenant in the U.S. Army Reserve and a fierce critic of Biden administration, has unknowingly had 2 explosive detection K9 teams, 1 transportation security specialist explosives, 1 plainclothes TSA supervisor, and 3 federal air marshals on every flight she boarded since being added to the list. The whistleblower reports first shared with Sonia Labasco, the executive director of Air Marshal National Security Council, determined that Gabbard was added to the Quiet Skies list on July 23, 2024, one day after she criticized Biden, Kamala Harris, and overall security state during an interview with Laura Ingraham. Vinny.
Okay, so, I mean, first and foremost, I want people to understand what you just said, Pat. That means once she's put on this Quiet Skies list, every time she goes on a flight, there has to be let me find where you said it, PBD. She has to have 3 federal air marshals on every flight that she goes on, okay? Even terrorists don't get this type of attention. There has to be like 7 people involved with her. And I just, do you want to show what she actually said so I can get into it, Robbie? Can you show? She was on the angle. And this is, guys, pay attention. If you criticize the military industrial complex and Kamala Harris, and you say Kamala Harris is dangerous to our democracy, this is the Department of Homeland Security is going to tap you for the rest of your life. Rob, play this clip. Let them see it.
More interested, Laura, in what the American people are thinking. You know, I've been seeing headline after headline saying, well, what is Kamala Harris's foreign policy going to be? And then you are reminded by these examples of how inexperienced and lacking of knowledge and strength that she is. So to answer that question, what kind of commander-in-chief will she be? What kind of foreign policy will she have? We simply need to look at the facts of what we've seen under the Biden-Harris administration. They are not running our foreign policy. Our foreign policy decisions are being made by unelected people in the military-industrial complex who are profiting from us being in a constant state of war, and the national security state that has more power to undermine our freedoms and liberties when we are in a state of war. Kamala Harris does not have the strength to stand up to the military-industrial complex.
Okay, you can stop it, Rob. So guys, I hope you guys are paying that. That's all she said. It goes on for a little bit more, Tom. Nothing more, nothing less than what she just said. The Department of Homeland Security put her on a domestic terrorist watch list. And for the people out there that don't know a little bit about Tulsi Gabbard, she's an active duty lieutenant colonel, Pat, in the United States Army. She was deployed in Iraq during the war, 2004. She was assigned to a field medical unit in a combat zone. Guys, not just hanging out and nothing's going on, in a combat zone, and received a combat medal badge for service under enemy fire. Okay, she was basically there trying to help us fight terrorists, and she comes here and she criticizes them, and she's on the terror watch list. And you want to talk about weaponized legal system, Top? The same thing that's happening with her is exactly what they've been doing to Donald Trump. Am I right?
Yeah, you're taking parts of the U.S. government and throwing at your opponent.
Yeah, there's absolutely no difference.
When did they add her to the list?
The moment that this happened, I guess August.
The day? July, no.
So the whistleblower,
she was added to the list July 23rd, 2024.
So
this just happened.
Adam,
and July 23rd?
Yes.
Was Kamala already the presumptive nominee at that point? I think so.
I'm pretty sure,
right.
yeah.
Can I give you my little 2 cents?
Yeah, and I'm almost done. But think of this, Adam. Just on a security level, and I know, Tom, we talked about it on the unusuals, where it's not going to be there forever. But do you understand the mental screw that it does to her? Because for the rest, by the way, I don't know if she's suing Rob. Can you check if she's suing she's suing them for doing this? For the rest of her life, Adam, her phone, she's always going to be questioning, are they listening to me? Are they watching my family? If I'm flying, who is that person? Are they checking me? Do you understand what type of disrespect? And again, Alejandro Mayorkas and the Department of Homeland Security, there's enough shit. We have terrorists, actual terrorists, walking over our border. Remember, they don't know the number. We caught 150, but God knows how many are here. We had that one guy, Tom, that came over, remember, and he was like this, soon you will know who my name is. These are actual terrorists, and you take an active duty lieutenant colonel and put her on this list. Shame on all of you, every single one of you, and the people that let them put her on this list, shame on you, they should freaking resign. One whistleblower came out. Where are the rest of you? Unbelievable.
So let me, who runs TSA? This guy named David Pekoski. David Pekoski became the president of TSA under Trump in 2017, okay? And was reconfirmed for a second term September of 2022. He leads a workforce of 60,000 agents, 440 airports. Under his leadership, TSA, during his tenure, TSA Pekoski also served as the Department Homeland Security and acting secretary from January 20 to February 2022. And it's, Rob, can you find out who Pekoski reports to? So who does TSA report to?
Probably Pete Buttigieg, probably.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, Adam, it's funny, but you're right. And also, Pat, while you're looking, the TSA has stated it
there
does.
you go. Under the direction of the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security.
So it's
That's
Mayorkas.
That's exactly who it is. So then there you go. So TSA is under Mayorkas.
Yeah.
So Mayorkas forced David, who got the job by Trump, to put Tulsi on the list. Very interesting.
Yeah, but it's not going to slow her down.
No,
Like, it's not going to, because I'll just say this one thing.
go ahead.
Is there a bigger threat to Kamala's campaign than the person who literally made her suspend her campaign in 2020 when she annihilated her on stage than a female of color veteran?
No, not veteran, active duty.
Active duty, but part of the military, soldier.
Reserves.
Congressperson, by the way, who was a former Democrat who ran for president in 2020. She has all the check marks. Boom, boom, boom. She's like the credible, established, sensible Nikki Haley.
Yeah, you're right.
And Kamala Harris.
And you know,
like, she's a viable candidate.
But you know what?
That's who she is. So everyone else that is not her is like, we got to silence this woman.
Of course.
Because she's that girl.
And the biggest problem is, Pat, Army, I'm Air Force, she's Army Reserve. She's still in the Army. We swore an oath to protect this country from enemies, foreign and domestic. And what people don't understand is that domestic word, to me, is more of a threat than the foreign one. It's when the people that are here, this deep state that we always hear, that people are like, you guys are conspiracy theorists. Do you understand what it has to happen for somebody to hear that in the deep state? Alejandro Mayorkas to say, hey guys, monitor her. She's a terrorist. She's a potential domestic terrorist. And if you guys hear one thing on her phone, if you see one thing, grab her ass and we're going to make an example out of her.
Yeah, but it's such bullshit because she went through this same exact thing when she was a quote unquote Russian asset when she basically criticized Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And then that's how she had to basically navigate her campaign as a quote unquote Russian asset.
Unbelievable.
So we've seen this before.
But it's not cool. It doesn't make it good.
A lot of times, the Tulsis of the world, the RFK Juniors of the world, these are former Democrats who basically had a peek behind the curtain. They're like, this is swampy in here.
Yeah.
Same thing that, basically Trump is doing on the right.
Yeah.
Speaking truth to power is necessary.
100%.
And that's why someone like Tulsi is so respected along podcast and free thinker type communities, but on the mainstream media, she'll be lambasted.
But and just a little fun fact: the TSA states it does not take race or religion into account when enrolling individuals in this Quiet Skies program, but they fail to mention if they do it for political affiliation. That is unbelievable. And Rob, did you find out if she's suing them?
I couldn't find anything, but there is an investigation into why she was put on the watch list.
By the way, this is a mic drop moment of Tulsi against Kamala, where it got Kamala to leave, endorse Biden, become the VP. Go ahead, Rob.
As a prosecutor, and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. That impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. When you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, You did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row.
I'm so freaking
innocent
pissed watching
people,
this.
You actually blocked
tell you why.
evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign
Look
as
at her
prosecutor,
love it,
you
man.
owe them an apology.
What is the likelihood? What is the likelihood that she remembers this clip? She's worried that Tulsi's going to get louder, that she was involved in calling Mayorkas to silence Tulsi. What's the
yes.
likelihood of that happening?
30%?
High probability,
Pretty
sir.
high.
30, 40? Great question.
And I think it's an even higher probability that the puppeteers that are over her campaign that helped orchestrate the shift away from Biden because they don't want to lose power, that they dropped the dime. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. By the way, what she said was all facts. Think about this. Do you remember on this exact same debate stage what Kamala said about Joe Biden to his face?
Racist white guy.
He's basically like, I was that girl on that bus.
Yeah, you racist.
I was busted. So here she is just basically calling it like she sees it. Accurate. Because all these stories of Kamala. And now she's on this terror watch list.
Unbelievable.
Kamala plays the game, does the DEI checkmate game. Boom, look at her playing her role, even though she basically did the exact same thing that Tulsi did to Kamala, that Kamala did to Biden, the exact same thing.
Yep.
Hey, listen, we're going to need a DEI candidate. You're going to need you to play ball. Hell, who knows? In 4 years, you could be the president. You know?
Wow.
Boom. Yeah, look at this. Remember this?
Can we see that?
Don't forget this.
And I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
Okay. Just the identity politics game of Kamala Harris. Do you hear Tulsi Gabbard doing the identity politics game? She could do that game.
Of
She
course
can
she
play
could.
that game.
She doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to. It's so disgusting to me.
I know.
And this is why, even as annoying and just sort of shooting himself in the foot constantly as Trump is, why I would definitely vote for Trump over someone like Kamala. But this is the reason Kamala's favored right now. She's playing that DEI identity politics game, and it's disgusting.
Leaders have been using agencies of our government since the dawn of time. I mean, how many books have been written about LBJ and the CIA? So we don't need term limits. We need jail.
I think so.
Here's what I can tell you. What I do know for a fact is I'm convinced the future looks bright, and we want 1 million people to wear the gear future looks bright. The USA hats, last time we had, it sold out like this. They're officially back, the USA hats. If you want them, order them ASAP. If your entire family loves America and you want to sport it for the rest of the year. So indirectly, when nowadays people are like, well, when you have an American flag in the house, what are you really saying politically? Which way do you lean? It means I love America. You know what people think when you wear a USA hat and you're walking around and on the side it says future looks bright? You're making a statement when you wear this. And by the way, brand spanking new limited gear being dropped here. This will go out in no time. I wear these flip-flops now because when you have Jesus feet like I do, you have to wear flip-flops that are comfortable. And these are the most comfortable flip-flops. It's got the gel in it and a little lift here when you wear this. It's ridiculous.
Feels good.
Future looks bright. American flag. Wear them during the summer. Wear them while you're walking out. Wear them while you're walking your dogs at the house with the VT logo on it. This is limited supply. First come, first serve. Some sizes will probably be gone. Go to VT Merch and order it. And by the way, for those of you that are getting the VT gear, post the pictures all over the place. We see you. Can we show some of these? Look at this one here. Pink VT hat. Go to the next one, Rob, if you can.
I know her.
This is Nick Moore, who's an NFL player for the Baltimore Ravens there. If you can zoom
Where's
in.
he at?
Zoom in right there. That's him. Look what he's wearing to the left.
Wow.
Freaking walking in with a
Dude, that
future
is
looks
so
bright hat.
sick.
What a stud. Go to the left one, Rob. That's him. That's another one with
Nice.
the military one. Good for you with the beard. Another one sporting it. Keep going, Rob. We got hundreds of these. Brian McClain, keep going. Another one. These were unique ones that we had. Keep going.
Nice.
Keep going. Baby girl, keep going, keep
so
going,
adorable.
keep going, Rob, keep going, keep going. Anyways, we got a bunch of these here. Gang, buy the gear, sport it, let the world know you believe the future looks bright, especially if you represent the brand. I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you. I love the fact that we got confident, strong people who believe in debate, discourse, that want to represent the freedom and different values and principles that we believe in. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Go to v2merch.com, place your order.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.